This program contains explicit content that may disturb some viewers.
It's the age of influencers, and Australian kids are getting on board.
It just blew up, people just sharing it, and I thought, wow.
Encouraged by parents, they're filling social media feeds, vying to be the next big thing.
They are more authentic, more real.
Selling everything from makeup to high fashion.
Oh my gosh.
They're reaching millions of people.
So first we got the viral TikTok skincare headband.
The most famous make tens of millions of dollars a year.
She's her own brand now, I think.
I want to be famous. Because I feel like I can keep going and then I will never stop.
But behind the glitz and glamour, there are growing concerns about who is really benefiting from this new breed of child star.
We're promoting this imagery and we're glorifying it and we're commodifying it. People are profiting from this.
And can kids really consent?
Do you ever feel like you were forced to do anything you didn't want to do?
No, I wanted to start up the account.
This is her career. So how else do you put her out there?
No matter how well-meaning the parents, they can't always control who's watching.
It is clear that offenders will obviously gravitate to victims that are easier to access.
The first time I ever received one, I felt sick to my stomach.
We're not going to put our kids in short shorts and midriff tops on a dark street corner in King's Cross, but we're doing the same in the online world.
If you just flick through there, you can see.
Gross. This is a child.
Oh, wow, okay, so she's very young.
In this Four Corners, we delve into the unregulated world of child influencers. While some parents hope it's setting their kids up for the career of a lifetime, we've found they're often exposed to a dark side, and the companies that stand to benefit aren't doing enough to keep them safe. Inside a warehouse in South Australia, these cheerleaders are preparing for competition. Ten-year-old Ava spends at least 3 hours a night, 4 days a week here, training to be the best. As the flyer, the person who gets thrown high in the air, she loves being centre stage.
Just try one more time. Just have confidence. When you fly, you've got to go up first.
Ava's a big personality, a little person's body. She's very, very active. So she loves cheerleading and dance, and she's got goals, she's got aspirations. She just loves to perform for other people, always. She sees a camera or anything, she's keen, she's ready.
Ava performs for tens of thousands of people around the world through her Instagram channel.
We're in COVID, in lockdown through school, like we couldn't go anywhere, and started with the beach and taking some shots in some new dresses, and it all sort of blew up from there.
Hello, hello, hello.
Let's get married in Vegas. We don't need a guest list. I don't want to think too much.
Ava has had the account since she was 8, using it to show off her modelling, acrobatic and dance skills.
I think my first ever video was science at home and I got like more views, more followers. So it went to like 1,000 to like 2,000 in like 2 nights. So I was pretty happy about that.
You're so beautiful. I think it's time for the world to see.
Now, with more than 14,000 followers, she's joining the multitudes of children worldwide trying to be influencers, also known as Kidfluencers.
Nice big smile. Every time you smile, breaking hearts you don't
Child influencers can make money through collaborations with brands, views on their videos, and paid subscriptions to their channels.
It's the best face wash out there. You need to get it.
They use sites like YouTube and TikTok, but the platform of choice for many brands using influencers in Australia is Instagram. Ava's promoted all sorts of products, from fairy floss to online reading tools and stamps.
So I got the pink one, it's just like a normal ponytail. I got the braided ponytail and another braided ponytail.
And she has quite the collection of free stuff sent to her in exchange for her promotion.
Then I have my dresses that I also got for free. My favourite one is probably this one. Oh, I got this one for free. So I got this and my hairbrush is somewhere.
How does having 14,000 followers make you feel?
It feels good because when people see my followers, they want to like collab with me. And like, I think I hit like 13 and then people started sending more stuff. Okay.
Right, you got it? All right, go.
Ava and her mum have even taken to promoting products that they've paid for, in the hope it'll be reposted by the company and grow her following. Children under 13 aren't able to have their own Instagram accounts, so Ava is only allowed to have this online profile because it's run by Zoe. So who does the posting? Is it you or Ava?
Ava makes a lot of her own. She'll do a lot of the ones where she's like dancing. Can you come and check this before I post it? As for like, see what you think? The marketing side of things, nah, I'll do pretty much all of that. Yeah, that's a bit there. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? This song's pretty cool.
One reason Zoe is encouraging Ava's growing stardom is to open up her options for the future.
When she was in year 1 at school, she was diagnosed with a severe receptive language disorder and ADHD. So she finds reading and writing quite difficult, as well as being dyslexic. I think Instagram has helped with that as well. Like, it's really helped to boost her confidence a bit.
So some people might have the image of a mum making a child do something they don't really want to do.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening here with Ava?
Nah. You've seen Ava. She's very much got her own personality. Where's your muscles, Ava? Sometimes she tells me how it is. Cute. She's her own brand now, I think. It's taking her down a whole other avenue, I think. Yeah.
Do you think she does have the ability to consent to all this and to be putting this material online?
I don't think any child, you know, can consent to a degree. Like, that's what we have parents advocate for them. But at the end of the day, you know, we're looking at the dangers and the risks associated with Ava posting.
Ava is making a big income for a 10-year-old. On top of the free stuff she receives from brands, Zoe says she earns up to $500 a month through donations and subscriptions from her followers. Zoe says Ava gets to keep the money.
Do you know who her subscribers are?
Nope. No.
Do you wonder why they're subscribing to see Ava?
Yeah, I have wondered that. But then why do people subscribe to the other hundreds of thousands of people on Instagram or any other platform?
Ava's growing following has made her parents take precautions that they don't take with their other children.
She's not allowed to catch at all, like the bus to school on her own. We don't just send her off to the shops down the end of the street to go and get, you know, milk when we run out. We don't let her go to the park by herself. I think it's just, you know, a bit more riskier with Ava being on a social platform. Yeah.
Online, Ava has attracted unwanted attention. As well as sexual comments being made on her Instagram page, she's had explicit images sent to her.
The first time I ever received one, I felt sick to my stomach.
Zoe spends part of each day before Ava gets up filtering messages and blocking users. So do you worry that potentially a pedophile could fixate on her?
Absolutely, yep. We've sat down together as two parents and spoke about the risks and, you know, the pros and cons and what there is, what's going on, and had a chat with Ava as well about, you know, do you continue? She, at the end of the day, like, she loves it. As a parent, I think we need to be vigilant and aware at all the times, whether your child is on or off social media with pedophiles. But we keep going because social media is what she loves.
Commander Helen Schneider leads the Australian Federal Police unit that investigates online child sexual abuse.
I think my concerns, whether it's child influencers or anyone who is posting that, is you are undoubtedly placing yourself in a greater risk bracket. It is clear that offenders will obviously gravitate to victims that are easier to access. What we're finding in the seizure of devices and large amounts of data is often innocuous pictures of children or non-sexualised images of children that are caught up in these images of child abuse material.
Do you like it? Yeah. Yeah. You got a hat?
Nina is careful about what she posts of her son Jerome.
Let's go. Let's go change.
As a mother, I believe I'm doing everything possible to protect him and do it all safely. So not posting things where they're topless or just in a nappy, where images can be doctored, and not taking photos of particular streets where you might be taking photos or sharing any form of location.
A successful kidfluencer, Jerome has flown from his home in Queensland to Sydney to be the face of a new clothing line.
So Jerome has about 100,000 followers, and look at him, like his face speaks for itself. You know, there's not much I need to say. He's a beautiful boy and people can see that.
Thousands of people were watching Jerome even before he was born. His mother Nina is a model and already had her own following on Instagram when she became pregnant. Nina started his account when he was still in the womb.
As soon as he was born, I just looked at his face. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, you're my son. You're just going to be a little mini copy of me. And even before he was born, people were going to be like, he's going to be a little model. And I kind of think that just kind of manifested into where he is today. And he absolutely loves it now.
Brand deals rolled in, with Jerome now making about $20,000 a year, 90% of which his parents say they put aside for him. At first, it went well. But then, Nina encountered the darker side of kidfluencing. She says different Instagram accounts started appearing featuring Jerome's photos, with some of the account holders making shocking claims, like they were in fact Jerome's mother. When Nina contacted them, they only doubled down.
Oh, horrible. Yeah, and especially when they're kind of taunting me and saying that, no, he's my child, and, you know, Jerome's sitting right next to me, and it's just, like, what did they get out of it? You know, it's frustrating, but there's really not much I can do.
Worse was when her followers alerted her to what looked like a US adoption website. People were being told that for a price, they could adopt a child. One of them was Jerome.
They portrayed themselves to be legitimate. They had an address of an adoption agency in America and were posting my son along with many other children. I felt my heart sink. I pretty much started crying, if I'm honest, and I just got goosebumps all over my body. Like, how has it gotten this far? Like, yeah, I felt horrible. As a mother, you want to protect your child, and I felt that was out of my control now.
We have to remember that social media is like the public square. Sadly, it's become a bit of a cesspool, social media in general, that attracts people who have ill intent or bad intent towards children.
As you can see, this is my son on their website. It says to adopt now. Another photo of my son.
Nina posted about the website on her own page, and the scam was ultimately taken offline.
Who really knows if that's true?
I think a lot of people might think, why do you keep putting Jerome out there after something like this happened? Why do you keep doing it?
It's a big learning curve. I love it. He loves it so far.
Show me the lemons. Oh!
I mean, I suppose it's up to him if he wants to continue it. And I'm being extremely careful and protective of him right now. I love what I do. I absolutely love it. And he's a beautiful boy. And I'm very proud of him, and which is why I'm continuing to do it.
And listening to you talk, it sounds like this is a lot of what you want. There's probably people thinking, well, is this what Jerome wants?
Well, I never force him into anything. And for him, a photo shoot is really him going to play, and we just capture what we can.
And have you thought about, I guess, issues of consent? I mean, a lot of people would say, look, he's 4, he doesn't know what he's doing. Can he consent to this, and how do you think he'll feel when he's older?
I think I'm doing the best I can to explain in detail what we're doing. So he's comfortable with it, and, you know, I'm his mum, I know best. And at the end of the day, it's up to me. And if I believe I'm protecting him while doing it, that's the best I can do.
Can you look this way? Can you look to the curtains for me?
Simona Sterling has worked in marketing for 9 years and is now launching a new children's fashion label.
Working up a sweat over here.
I think people want to sort of see Kidfluencers because I think they are more authentic, more real. That then translates to sales, definitely. I've worked with brands where they've basically had their top performing ads of all time be of an influencer. And that way outperformed any even campaign shoots that they did that they might have spent $30,000, $40,000 on. And then they've spent maybe $1,000 or gifted free product, and that's been their top performer.
While Nina only works with companies she believes are doing the right thing, there are plenty who aren't.
They are willing to prioritise profit over children's safety and well-being. We want to see corporations putting safety measures in place and not utilising children to essentially be billboards for their brands.
Lynn Swanson-Kennedy works with Collective Shout, an Australian organisation concerned about the growing objectification of women and children. She believes no child should be an influencer, and one of the companies in her sights is fashion giant Shein.
Often the girls are dressed in sexualized clothing. They are posed very adult-like. They are pouting.
The challenge with sexualizing young people as part of influencing is it's subtle. There may not be that solid line, but clearly the more suggestive or sexualized the child is, depending on their audience, the more comments, the more likes, the more hits they're getting, obviously the more attention.
Shein's already been reprimanded for its use of Kidfluencers. An Australian girl posted a video from her account showing her wearing a cut-out Shein dress. The post included a discount code, which meant it's likely the girl would be paid commission by Shein if people bought the item. The regulator, the Ad Standards Community Panel, noted the girl was 14. It considered Shein did have a reasonable degree of control over the advertisement and depicted the girl in a manner which treats her as an object of sexual appeal. In response to our queries, Shein issued a brief statement saying it stands for the safety and well-being of children and does not condone actions that could endanger them. Shein is one of many brands that have been criticised for sexualising children on social media. E-Safety Commissioner Julie Inman-Grant is Australia's independent regulator for online safety. Before taking up the role, she spent 20 years working for big tech. She says social media platforms, as well as brands, are profiting from sexualisation.
There's always been peer pressure, but the kind of peer pressure created by social media, this rock star confected version of self, can be so harmful and damaging. And we don't want to sexualize an entire generation of tweens and younger. But that's what we're seeing when we're promoting this imagery and we're glorifying it and we're commodifying it. People are profiting from this. So we need to take, I think, a closer look at ourselves as a society.
For Bobby, being a kidfluencer was about highlighting her dance talents and getting brand deals. In the darker places on the internet, it became about something else. Now 15, she's been dancing since she was a little girl.
It's literally my whole life because all I do is dance, like all day, every day. And it's just something that like I'm so passionate about.
I remember one day she said to me that if I didn't have dance, it would be like not breathing. And I appreciate that because she absolutely loves it.
When Bobby was 7, her mother started her Instagram account.
She's a straight walking street, walking top shelf, never lining limousine.
We would go and spend half a day and we would have a lot of fun. It was just her and I in the moment, taking shots, and that was her being creative and expressive.
She's a fast car, a superstar.
Kim says she did it to promote Bobby's dance career.
We always were very mindful of the content that we posted, the angles that we used. You know, I tried my hardest to portray her as the child she was, at the age she was. But, you know, a lot of the time it's a dance world and, you know, the costumes are small. And, you know, she's got a full face of makeup on.
After a couple of years, it went big, with multiple brand deals and Bobby reaching 250,000 followers. At her peak, up to 2,000 new followers were joining each day.
There's this one. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a long time ago.
7 years after she started, Bobby can now reflect on what it was like being a kidfluencer at such a young age.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think I was an influencer. Like at that age, I wasn't caring about the followers or the likes. Oh my God. I think I was just a little kid just showing off what they do, yeah.
Sometimes when we like do these things, I'd always get like frustrated and I was just like, sometimes I didn't want to do it. But yeah, I am glad that I like did it because obviously it got me like in a good place with all like I got lots of deals and like brand deals and sponsorships.
At its height, Kim was spending many hours a day managing Bobby's Instagram, but says it became impossible to monitor who was following her. Instagram allows account owners to block users, but Kim says the clunky process meant she couldn't block all of them.
Who were her followers?
There was a lot of dancers, and at one point I think, yeah, there was a lot of men. And there was varying ages and from lots of different countries.
What kind of things were you blocking?
They'd be inappropriate comments which had more of a sexual connotation to them, which, you know, really upset me the first time I became aware of it. Like inappropriate emojis, you know, and I don't think if a child saw them they would know what they mean, but you would, you know, like a squirting water emoji or a peach emoji. I remember someone sending a message and asking her to send, you know, different photos stretching, you know, the different dance stretches, and then they started asking very peculiar, you know, like for very specific poses, and I thought, no. And that really, I was like really shocked. So that's not Bobby's account.
Soon, multiple fan accounts of Bobby sprung up, some masquerading as her real Instagram profile. There were sexual comments all over the pages. Bobby's image was being used on other websites too, with her face used to make sexualised images. All the original photos had been taken from Bobby's Instagram account, which Kim had created. Do you think potentially you played a part in sexualising Bobby?
No. Do you watch the Olympics? They do gymnastics. They do swimming. Bobby, a lot of the time, is more covered than that. Do you go to a local beach where any person who walks past has access to it? Where anyone can be sitting there taking photos? Where anyone can be sitting there having inappropriate thoughts? So where do you draw the line? It's like telling a woman you shouldn't go out in public dressed like that because you could get raped. Why? That's teaching my daughter to feel ashamed and don't go out in public and don't show my talent. And I'm not responsible for other people having a judgment or opinion. That's their own business. I know what we're doing. Bobby knows what we're doing. You know, she's safe in my eyes.
Kim complained about the copycat accounts to Instagram, asking for them to be taken down. Instagram has the right to delete accounts when it finds they're not abiding by the terms of use. But soon after, Bobby's actual account, with hundreds and hundreds of posts, was deleted by Instagram.
I was upset. Like, it actually made me really upset. I think, yeah, I was crying. Like, I was like, because we put so much work and time into it. And I know that, like, I just loved that. I just loved posting everything, and I just was really confused too.
That was like the nail in the coffin. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I just thought, here's a page that is absolutely not, it's totally fake. It's not monitored. That is allowed to stay open. Yet this page, you know, that was making her, you know, she had income, she had responsibilities, she had contract. We lost all of them. And that's her whole career. And they just wiped it.
Instagram owner Meta wouldn't respond to questions about why it deleted Bobby's account. But after Four Corners asked the company about the copycat accounts, it deleted some of them. Bobby started her account again and now has about half the number of followers. Meta said it had developed a range of features that help people protect themselves from unwanted contact, including tools that allow blocking and reporting. But most families we've spoken to say often when they've reported sexual content to Instagram, no action is taken. Not all kidfluencers are sexualised by users on Instagram, but our research has found there's a group of girls that are often targeted.
There does seem to be a particular draw by these men to content featuring underage girls in particular types of clothing, so swimwear, leotards, cheerwear.
In fact, a look at Lynn Swanson-Kennedy's account shows how Instagram is serving up these children to predators.
I never have to look for these girls. I don't have to seek this content out. Essentially, I have a research account, which I use, and I use it the way that a predator likely uses it. And I follow around 1,600 underage girls. They are fed to me in an algorithm-driven gallery of more and more young girls, kidfluencers, mini models.
When Four Corners began researching this program, after following just half a dozen girls, the same thing happened to our search feed. Four Corners journalist Carla Hildebrandt has been investigating the Instagram accounts of kidfluencers for more than a year.
So you can see here are some of the comments from accounts that seem to be from men. The seductress, and your best stuff was always slow and sensual.
And there are many more disturbing comments. As well as public comments, some kidfluencers are bombarded with private messages.
So one parent of a 9-year-old child influencer has given us some of the messages her daughter's received. He is a user saying they want to do a tribute. So that means ejaculating on a photo of the girl. And there's more.
So how does this mother deal with this?
Well, she said she'd report it to Instagram, but there were times Instagram wouldn't investigate. Because of the high volume of reports we receive, we couldn't review this chat. We understand this may be frustrating and we're working on improving our review process. It gets much worse. So I found fake porn using the kids' faces, and yeah, the intense obsession they have with these girls is frightening.
Carla's discovered encrypted chat channels where groups of men lust over their favourite child influencers after scraping the photos off Instagram and other social media sites. There are also photos of them masturbating to images of the girls.
So this is one conversation which has over 150 members, dedicated to a 15-year-old US influencer. So in this other chat, they share violent fantasies about stalking a girl home from school, abducting and raping her.
And this is a kidfluencer?
Yeah. And I found similar content about Australian child influencers.
We're not going to put our kids in short shorts and midriff tops on a dark street corner in King's Cross in the middle of the night to see what kind of response they get from young men, but we're doing the same in the online world where there are literally millions of people. But we seem to think that there's a degree of safety because they're online, but there's just a different kind of harm.
The harm isn't just limited to the online world.
She's a 15-year-old.
In the US, Ava Majuri had garnered a following of 1 million people when one of her fans began stalking her.
There's been a gunfight at someone's home.
Her stalker was an 18-year-old young man, and he followed her on social media and became obsessed with her.
When he tried to break into the family's home, Ava's father shot him dead.
I reacted, and I reacted
perfectly,
as best as I could.
This would be the pinnacle of fears coming to reality.
Some companies appear to be benefiting from the predatory behaviour. Several platforms, including Instagram, are allowing parents to sell exclusive videos and photos of their children. Brand Army is one. Similar to OnlyFans, it's a subscriber-based site that allows people to pay creators in exchange for accessing their content. But there's no nudity or sex. At this pre-launch party in LA, Brand Army was promoting both its adult and child creators.
Think about it. Who on earth wants to pay for content featuring children?
Four Corners has found dozens of teenagers with accounts on Brand Army, with some charging $100 a month to subscribe.
So here's this influencer from the US. She's a young teenager, and there's a number of photos of her in a string bikini.
Oh, wow, okay, so she's really very young. And that bikini, as you say, it's a string bikini, and she's pouting at the camera. The photo, the way it's set up, it's more like how you would imagine an adult model would pose. It's not how you would think that a young girl would pose. And so you can see here the person running her account has commented.
People are paying up to $100 to access her account, and there's the option to pay more for extra photos. So here you can pay $40 for more bikini shots.
I know for a fact that there are many parents who know exactly what's going on, and they willfully turn a blind eye, justifying the means by the ends, whether it's fame or profit.
And I found Australian girls who have parent-run accounts on Brand Army.
So this is Australian kids getting payment for content that they're putting on this site.
This girl, for $30 a month, subscribers get exclusive pictures and videos and behind-the-scenes content. And they can also talk to her privately for a fee per message.
Many of the photos of the young teenager are in tight clothes or midriff tops. Hundreds of photos are available from her parent-run account. In a bizarre list of terms and conditions for junior creators, Brand Army has said there can't be more than 50% bikini content on kids' channels. You also must be over 18 to look at it.
I wouldn't mind showing you one of these accounts if that's okay. It's of an Australian girl. If you just flick through there, you can see.
Gross. This is a child. This is selling and commodifying your child's innocence. And we're never going to be able to sterilize the internet. These images will follow this young woman throughout her life.
We've found at least 10 accounts that have similar content on Brand Army. When Four Corners alerted the company, it removed some of the material. Brand Army has stopped signing up new kids, but the existing accounts are still active. Instagram also says it's stopping paid content of children, but Four Corners is aware of some child influencer accounts that are still charging for photos and videos.
We need the platforms to be taking more responsibility. They're creating the hunting grounds on which these pedophiles are seeking out and sexualizing our children, and worse, grooming and exploiting them.
According to US court documents, Meta estimates that about 100,000 children using Facebook and Instagram receive online sexual harassment every day.
They're all driven by profit motive, and sex is always sold. They have the ability to detect sexualized comments, but the more explicit the imagery of the young people, the more attention they get, the more likes they get, the more dollars they get. So there is a real perverse incentive, even in the way social media companies are structured, and the way that influencers or the parents who are influencing their children are incentivized and monetize that engagement online.
Meta said in the last 3 months of last year, it took action on over 18 million pieces of child sexual exploitation content on Facebook and Instagram. It says it takes strong action whenever it becomes aware of this material. Making sexual comments online and generating sexual images of children can be a criminal offence in Australia.
It could include an AI-generated image or a real photo. It also includes text stories, and what I mean by that, if people are having sexualised conversations, about an image, then of course there is a risk that could hit a legal threshold of what is child abuse material. We'll need to look at those on a case-by-case basis.
But Kim and Zoe say despite complaining to state police about their daughters being targeted, they were told nothing could be done. At the moment, the eSafety Commissioner can only issue takedown notices to online companies about clear cases of child sex abuse.
We don't have the powers we need to tackle the harms that are happening right now.
So specifically around the sexualisation of children online, and I guess this grey area, would you like to see the Act expanded?
I think it's something that we should look at. It needs to be something that's effective, implementable, and achievable. I mean, there may even be criminal elements to this. If a parent or an adult is exploiting a child to the extent that it's putting them in harm's way, is just a banning of that adult enough, or is there a dereliction of parental duty? I think these are all things we need to talk about, and we do need to draw a line somewhere.
And then put it on that flat end, and now cut it in half.
Kim says she did everything she could to protect Bobby.
And you use the kind of end of the knife. That's the gal.
Do you feel like your mum kept you safe online?
Oh, like 100%.
That's a lot of it.
She'd be like blocking people, she would delete the comments, and she never made a big thing out of it.
Oh my God, my eyes.
Like, I never would even know about this stuff.
Oh dear, I could have a bath in that.
My mum put so much time and effort in, so I think I'm really grateful that she got it to the point that it was.
A little bit more.
Oh. Do you feel like this account and being a Kidfluencer, has that set you up for your future?
Yeah, I know that it actually really has helped almost, because I do have a larger following, and in the dance industry it is, I think, even just in most industries, like social media is a really important part of it, and I think it's actually really helped me get out there and be noticed.
Hi guys, it's Ava. Welcome back to the live that I'm going to do.
Zoe says she too has been doing everything she can to keep her daughter safe. At the end of the day, she's decided the positives Ava gets out of social media outweigh the risks.
Do you think there's a chance Ava could look back on this one day and regret it?
She may not. I don't think she'll regret it. She may come to a point in her time when she says, Mum, I've had enough, I don't want to do it. Let's not do it anymore, or let's, and that's completely fine. That's her choice.
These kids are going where no generation has gone before.
You're doing well. Yeah. You're doing so good.
The repercussions of having such a big social media profile are yet to be fully known. But for others, it's clear. It's already come at a cost.
I am horrified that as a society, as a community, we have failed these girls. And I suspect they will, in many cases, be wondering, where are the adults? Where were the adults that were supposed to protect me? And why didn't they?
We're creating imagery that will pervade and follow them forever. Many of these children may not have agency, they may not have consent. They certainly don't have the cognitive development to know what this means, what they're doing today, what this might mean for them tomorrow.